The entertainment world didn't just wake up this morning, or it exploded. Because in the span of a few chaotic hours, a love triangle involving Teyana Taylor, Leonardo DiCaprio, and rising Hollywood star Aaron Pierre detonated across the internet, and the fallout is shaking both Hollywood and the music industry to their core. It started with one confirmation, one appearance, one moment that sent gossip pages into complete meltdown. Our Teyanna Taylor, fresh off the biggest acting win of her career, was suddenly spotted looking very comfortable with Leonardo DiCaprio at an exclusive after-party tied to her new film. And within minutes, the whispers started. Then came the photos, then the eyewitness accounts, then the headlines. Teyanna Taylor and Leonardo DiCaprio officially dating. The internet barely had time to process that bombshell before another explosion followed. Because sources close to Aaron Pierre claim the actor was completely blindsided by the news. Blindsided, humiliated, and according to insiders, absolutely furious. Private messages allegedly started circulating. Phone calls were made, and one heated confrontation reportedly happened behind closed doors that left witnesses describing the scene as pure chaos. Now fans are asking the question nobody can ignore. Did Teyana secretly dump Aaron Pierre the moment Leonardo DiCaprio entered the picture? Or was something much darker already happening behind the scenes? Because leaked audio that surfaced late last night suggests the breakup may not have been as clean as it looked. Voices arguing, someone accusing someone of using people for clout, and one sentence that's now echoing through celebrity group chats everywhere. You only switched up when Leo called. If that recording is real, then the story the public thinks they know might just be the tip of a very messy iceberg. The moment the photos surfaced, the internet reacted like someone had dropped a bomb in the middle of Hollywood. It was supposed to be a quiet after-party following the premiere buzz around Teyanna Taylor's new film. Cameras flashing, celebrities mingling, the usual elite chaos of a star-packed night in Los Angeles. But nobody expected what the photographers captured. Standing side by side in a private VIP section were Teyanna Taylor and Leonardo DiCaprio. Laughing, leaning close, looking very comfortable together. At first, the images looked innocent enough. Hollywood parties are filled with casual conversations between celebrities. Nobody thought much of it for the first few minutes. Then another photo surfaced, and this one looked very different. Teyanna's hand resting on Leo's shoulder while the two of them whispered into each other's ears. That was the moment gossip pages went nuclear. Within 15 minutes, the photos were everywhere. Celebrity blogs, TikTok edits, Twitter threads dissecting every frame like a crime scene investigation. Fans were stunned, because according to everything the public believed, Teyanna had still been romantically linked to rising British actor Aaron Pierre. Their relationship had been quiet but noticeable. They had been seen together at industry events, spotted leaving restaurants, even rumoured to be collaborating on upcoming film projects. Nothing official had ever been confirmed publicly, but insiders had repeatedly hinted that the two were very close. Which is why the DiCaprio photos caused immediate confusion. Was Teyanna simply networking with one of Hollywood's biggest stars? Or had something changed overnight? The speculation lasted exactly 3 hours, because then another bomb dropped. Now, a celebrity gossip account posted an anonymous tip claiming Teyanna had privately confirmed to friends that she and Leonardo DiCaprio were seeing each other. That one sentence detonated across social media. Fans began digging. Clips resurfaced of Leo attending a screening connected to Teyanna's new movie. Photos appeared showing the two talking at another industry event weeks earlier. Suddenly, people started connecting dots. And the question everyone kept asking was the same. Where did that leave Aaron Pierre? Because up until that moment, most fans believed he was the man in Teyanna's life. But according to someone claiming to be close to the situation, Aaron found out about the new relationship the same way the public did. Through the internet. The source said he was completely blindsided. Within hours of the story exploding online, rumors began circulating that Aaron had confronted someone connected to Teyana about the situation. Nobody could confirm exactly who the conversation involved, but witnesses described it as heated. Voices raised, phones slammed on tables. One person reportedly heard Aaron say something that instantly spread through industry group chats. So that's why everything changed. Those words fueled the speculation even further, because suddenly people started revisiting the timeline of Teyana and Aaron's relationship. And what they found was strange. Just weeks earlier, the two had reportedly been spending time together during the early promotional events for Teyanna's new film. Sources said Aaron had been extremely supportive of her acting career. He attended screenings, industry mixers, even after parties connected to the movie's buzz. Everything appeared normal. Until suddenly, it wasn't. Around the same time Leonardo DiCaprio began appearing at events related to the film, Aaron reportedly stopped showing up entirely. Or at first nobody noticed. Actors miss events all the time. But now fans started wondering if something had happened behind the scenes. The speculation turned explosive when a voice recording allegedly leaked late that night. The audio quality was rough. Background noise filled the clip. But two voices could clearly be heard arguing. One male, one female. And the man's voice said something that made gossip pages explode. You switched up the moment Leo started calling. The internet lost its mind. Tut, was that Aaron Pierre's voice? No one could confirm, but the clip spread faster than wildfire. Within minutes, TikTok creators were analysing the audio. Some claimed the accent sounded like Aaron. Others insisted it was impossible to prove, but the damage was already done. Now the story wasn't just about a new relationship. It was about betrayal. About a man who might have been replaced by one of the most powerful actors in Hollywood. And if that wasn't dramatic enough, the reaction from fans made things even worse. Aaron Pierre supporters flooded comment sections accusing Teyana of abandoning him for a bigger opportunity. Teyana's fans pushed back, arguing she had every right to move on with her life. Meanwhile, Leonardo DiCaprio's name started trending worldwide. Memes flooded social media. People joked about Leo's infamous dating history. But behind the jokes, insiders claimed something far more serious was happening. Because according to someone who attended the same afterparty where the photos were taken, the situation almost turned into a confrontation. The source claimed Aaron Pierre had actually been invited to that event earlier in the evening. But he never showed up. Why? That's where the story gets darker. Because according to one insider, Aaron received a message just hours before the party began. A message that allegedly made him cancel his appearance entirely. And if the contents of that message are real, then the love triangle everyone is talking about might not have started at the party. It might have started days earlier. The message that allegedly reached Aaron Pierre hours before the party has now become the most talked about mystery in Hollywood gossip circles. Because according to two separate insiders who claim they saw the text, the message was short, cold, and it changed everything. The alleged message read, "You shouldn't come tonight." No explanation, no context, just those 4 words. At first, Aaron reportedly thought it was a misunderstanding. After all, the party was supposed to celebrate the growing success of Teyana Taylor and her critically praised performance in her latest film. He had attended earlier industry events with her. He had publicly supported her acting career. So the sudden warning didn't make sense. But according to the insider, another message arrived seconds later. This one hit much harder. "Leo's here." That was it. The implication was immediate. Leonardo DiCaprio was already inside the party, and suddenly Aaron Pierre was being told not to come. The source claims Aaron stared at the phone for nearly 10 minutes without replying. Then he simply closed the message thread and never showed up. Inside the party, however, things were unfolding very differently. Witnesses say Leonardo DiCaprio had arrived with a small circle of friends and film executives connected to the production. The atmosphere shifted almost instantly. Whenever Leo walks into a room in Hollywood, the temperature changes. Producers start paying attention. Directors lean closer. Agents suddenly appear. And according to multiple party guests, Teyana Taylor spent most of the night near him, laughing, talking, sharing private conversations in corners of the room. At first, nobody thought much of it. Hollywood networking can look intimate, even when it's purely professional. But then came the moment that made everyone in the VIP lounge start whispering. Because according to one guest, Leo reportedly introduced Teyana to a group of producers as someone very special. The phrase didn't sound professional, it sounded personal. That single sentence travelled across the party like electricity. And by the time photographers captured those now viral images of the two together, rumours were already spreading among guests that something bigger was happening. Meanwhile, across the city, Aaron Pierre was reportedly sitting at home watching the internet explode. Within minutes of the photos going public, his phone began buzzing non-stop. Friends texting, industry contacts asking questions. One source says Aaron finally opened social media and saw the pictures for himself. And that's when things allegedly took a dramatic turn, because according to someone close to him, Aaron tried to call Teyana immediately. The call went unanswered. He tried again. Still nothing. Then he sent a message. No response. The silence reportedly lasted nearly 2 hours. By that time, the gossip had already gone global. Bloggers were posting headlines suggesting Teyana and Leo were officially dating. Comment sections were exploding. And Aaron Pierre's name began trending right alongside theirs. That's when the alleged voice recording surfaced. The clip was only 30 seconds long, but it sounded intense. 2 voices arguing, a man clearly upset, the woman sounding defensive. The male voice said something that made the internet collectively gasp. "You didn't even tell me it was over." The woman's response was muffled, almost impossible to hear clearly, but the man's final line echoed through the recording like a thunderclap. "You only switched up when Leo called." No one has confirmed whether the voices truly belonged to Aaron Pierre and Teyana Taylor. But the timing of the leak made the entire story explode even further. Suddenly, fans began dissecting every public interaction between the 3 celebrities. Old interviews resurfaced. Clips from movie premieres were analysed frame by frame. One video from a film festival started circulating again, where Leonardo DiCaprio and Teyanna Taylor appeared to share a private conversation while cameras flashed around them. At the time, nobody thought anything of it. Now the clip looked suspicious. Meanwhile, celebrities began reacting publicly. Some took subtle sides, others added fuel to the fire. A popular podcast host joked that Hollywood relationships move at the speed of opportunity. Another actor posted a cryptic tweet saying, "Now loyalty matters when nobody's watching." Fans immediately interpreted the message as support for Aaron Pierre. But the biggest reaction came from a well-known entertainment blogger who claimed to have spoken to someone inside the production of Teyanna's new film. According to that source, Leonardo DiCaprio had taken a particular interest in Teyanna during promotional events. At first, it was described as admiration for her acting performance. But over time, the attention reportedly became more personal. Dinners, private conversations, exclusive invitations to industry gatherings. None of this was confirmed publicly, but the rumours spread like wildfire. And suddenly the narrative forming online became brutal. Some fans began accusing Teyanna of leaving Aaron Pierre for a more powerful connection in Hollywood. Others defended her fiercely, pointing out that she had never officially confirmed a relationship with Aaron in the first place. But the drama didn't stop there. Because late that night, another piece of information began circulating quietly among industry insiders. According to a publicist who allegedly overheard conversations at the party, Aaron Pierre had actually been expected to attend the event earlier that evening. In fact, his name had appeared on the guest list, which raises one terrifying possibility. If Aaron had shown up before receiving that mysterious message, he might have walked directly into the moment where Leonardo DiCaprio and Teyana Taylor were standing together in that VIP section. And if that confrontation had happened in public, the chaos could have been 10 times worse. But the story still isn't finished, because just as the internet began settling into its chosen sides, Aaron Pierre reportedly did something no one expected. And if the rumors about what he said next are true, this love triangle is about to explode in a way nobody saw coming. For almost 12 hours after the photos, the rumors, and that mysterious voice recording took over the internet, Aaron Pierre stayed completely silent. No tweets, no Instagram stories, no cryptic captions. Nothing. And, strangely enough, that silence was making the entire situation even louder. Because the internet has learned something over the years. When someone stays quiet during a scandal like this, it usually means something serious is happening behind the scenes. Meanwhile, Teyana Taylor appeared completely unfazed. She was spotted the very next night leaving another industry event, surrounded by photographers and fans. Cameras flashed non-stop as reporters shouted questions about the rumors linking her to Leonardo DiCaprio. Are you two dating? Did you leave Aaron Pierre? Is this real? Teyana didn't answer a single question, but the smile on her face in those photos only poured gasoline onto the fire already burning online, because by now the narrative had split into two completely different camps. One group of fans believed Teyana had every right to move on with her life and build new connections in Hollywood. The other side believed something far more ruthless had happened, when they believed Aaron Pierre had been quietly pushed aside the moment Leonardo DiCaprio entered the picture. And then came the moment that made the entire internet freeze. Late that evening, Aaron Pierre finally posted one single message. No emojis, no explanation, just one sentence. Loyalty reveals itself when opportunity arrives. Within minutes, the post exploded across every social platform. Fans immediately began interpreting it as a direct message to Teyana. In comment sections flooded with speculation. Was Aaron confirming that he had been betrayed? Or was the message simply a reflection about relationships in general? Nobody knew. But what happened next made things even more intense. Because only 20 minutes later, another piece of alleged evidence began circulating through celebrity group chats. A screenshot of what looked like a private conversation. The names were blurred, but one message stood out clearly. "Tell him I didn't plan this," the person receiving the message reportedly replied with 3 words. "He won't believe it." If the screenshot was real, it suggested something shocking. Teyana may not have expected the situation to explode publicly the way it did, but by that point the internet had already made up its mind, and the reactions kept getting louder. One celebrity stylist posted a vague tweet about Hollywood choosing power over loyalty. A popular podcast host went live to discuss the situation and claimed the entertainment industry is full of stories where relationships collapse the moment bigger opportunities appear. The live stream gained hundreds of thousands of viewers within an hour. Every new reaction added more fuel to the chaos. Meanwhile, the person at the center of the storm, Leonardo DiCaprio, remained completely silent, which only made people more curious, because Leonardo has spent decades navigating the spotlight without directly responding to rumors about his personal life. But insiders say the sudden attention surrounding this alleged relationship caught even his team off guard. According to someone who works in the film publicity world, the last thing Leo's team wanted during the promotion of a major movie was a viral love triangle dominating headlines. Still, the story kept growing. Because the internet doesn't forget quickly. Every hour, new clips appeared. Old interviews resurfaced. Fans analysed body language from previous red carpet appearances involving Teyana and Leonardo, and every tiny detail was treated like a clue in a mystery. But behind the scenes, something quieter may have been happening. According to a source who claims to know someone close to Aaron Pierre, the actor spent the entire day speaking privately with friends and advisors about how to handle the situation. Not with anger, with strategy. Because responding emotionally to viral drama can sometimes make things worse. And Aaron Pierre is reportedly determined not to let a public scandal define his rising career. Meanwhile, insiders say Teyana Taylor has also been speaking privately with her own team about how to manage the sudden explosion of attention around her personal life. Because while scandals can create headlines, they can also overshadow the work an artist is trying to promote. And that may be the biggest twist in this entire story. What started as whispers about a possible relationship between Teyanna Taylor and Leonardo DiCaprio has now turned into a massive cultural debate about loyalty, ambition, and how quickly relationships can change in the spotlight. But here's the truth no one can deny. The internet may eventually move on to the next viral moment. Another celebrity breakup, another scandal, another headline. But the images from that after-party, the mysterious voice recording, and Aaron Pierre's cryptic message have already become part of Hollywood gossip history. And whether this love triangle ends quietly or explodes into something even bigger, one thing is certain. The world will be watching every move that comes next. If you've made it this far, then you already know this story is far from a simple Hollywood rumor. What started as a few photos from a party has spiraled into one of the most talked about celebrity controversies of the moment. The names involved alone, Teyanna Taylor, Aaron Pierre, and Leonardo DiCaprio, guarantee that the drama surrounding this situation isn't going to fade quietly. But here's the part that makes this even more intense. Stories like this rarely end where the headlines stop. Behind the scenes, there are still conversations happening, still reactions brewing, and still people in the industry who might speak out next. One new interview, one leaked message, or one unexpected public appearance could flip the entire narrative overnight. That's why staying tapped in matters. If you want to keep up with the real timeline of what's happening, the updates, the reactions, and the next twist that might shake Hollywood all over again, make sure you jump into the conversation right now. Hit the like button so more people can see the story and weigh in. Drop your opinion in the comments because the internet is completely divided on this one. Was Aaron Pierre really blindsided? Did Teyanna Taylor simply move on with her life? Or is there a side of this story the public hasn't heard yet? And most importantly, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. Because when it comes to celebrity drama like this, the biggest reveal is almost always the one that drops when nobody expects it.